Aging strong isn't about pushing the body to extremes or chasing youthful intensity, and it never has been. For many Japanese elders, staying active into their 80s and 90s is not the result of gym memberships, strict workout schedules, or complicated fitness systems, but the outcome of a quiet daily relationship with movement that has been built over decades. They do not see exercise as something separate from life. Movement is life, and life is movement. This way of thinking changes everything, especially after the age of 60, when many people are told, directly or indirectly, that slowing down is inevitable and weakness is unavoidable. In reality, the human body is designed to remain capable for a very long time when it is used regularly, gently, and with respect. What Japanese elders demonstrate so clearly is that consistency matters far more than intensity, and that simple daily movements, repeated calmly and intentionally, protect strength, balance, and independence better than any extreme routine ever could. One of the biggest misunderstandings about aging is the belief that the body suddenly becomes fragile after a certain birthday. In truth, the body adapts to whatever it is repeatedly asked to do. When daily life becomes mostly sitting, muscles weaken, joints stiffen, balance dulls, and confidence fades. Japanese elders avoid this downward spiral not by overworking their bodies, but by never fully abandoning movement in the first place. They rise from the floor or from low seating, they walk frequently, they stretch naturally, they shift their weight, and they breathe deeply as part of ordinary life. None of this feels dramatic, yet the accumulated effect over years is extraordinary. Legs remain strong enough to support the body, joints stay lubricated, posture remains upright, and the nervous system stays responsive. This is not accidental longevity, it is quietly earned through daily habits. Strength after 60 does not need to look like heavy weights or exhausting workouts. Functional strength, the kind that allows you to stand up easily, climb stairs, carry groceries, and recover your balance, is what truly determines independence. Japanese elders train this kind of strength naturally. Standing up and sitting down with control keeps the thighs and hips strong. Walking maintains endurance and coordination. Gentle bending and straightening of the spine keeps the core active. These movements send constant signals to the brain that the body is capable, alert, and resilient. When these signals stop, the brain begins to limit movement out of self-protection, which accelerates weakness. Daily movement prevents that shutdown from ever fully taking hold. Balance is another critical area where simple consistency outperforms intense training. Falls are one of the greatest threats to independence in later life, yet balance is rarely practiced deliberately by most adults. Japanese elders train balance without thinking about it, standing on one leg while dressing, shifting weight while waiting, turning slowly and smoothly instead of rushing. These small challenges keep the balance system sharp. The inner ear, the eyes, the muscles, and the brain continue communicating effectively. Over time, this daily balance awareness builds confidence. Confidence itself becomes protective, because fear of falling often causes stiffness and hesitation that actually increase fall risk. Calm, practiced movement keeps the body relaxed and responsive. Joint health is another area where gentle daily motion proves its value. Joints are not meant to remain still for long periods. They rely on movement to circulate fluid, deliver nutrients, and remove waste. Japanese elders maintain joint mobility through small, comfortable ranges of motion rather than forcing deep stretches. Shoulder circles, hip shifts, light rotations, and natural reaching movements keep joints nourished without strain. This prevents the creeping stiffness that so many people accept as normal aging. When joints move easily, the entire body feels lighter and more willing to move, creating a positive cycle rather than a limiting one. Breathing, often overlooked in fitness conversations, plays a quiet but powerful role in how the body ages. Japanese elders tend to breathe more slowly and deeply, especially during rest and gentle movement. This calms the nervous system, lowers chronic stress, and improves oxygen delivery throughout the body. Chronic stress accelerates inflammation, weakens immunity, and interferes with healing. By maintaining calm breathing habits, the body remains in a state that supports repair rather than breakdown. This internal environment makes it easier to maintain strength, flexibility, and mental clarity over time. Perhaps the most important lesson from Japanese elders is psychological rather than physical. They do not view aging as a battle against the body. There is no urgency, no punishment, no self-criticism. Movement is done with patience and acceptance. Pain is respected, not ignored, but movement is not abandoned either. This mindset removes the emotional barriers that prevent so many older adults from staying active. When movement feels safe, manageable, and meaningful, it becomes sustainable for life. Sustainability is what allows the body to keep adapting positively year after year. Another critical aspect of this approach is how it preserves dignity and independence. When older adults can move confidently, they rely less on others, remain socially engaged, and maintain a sense of purpose. This has profound effects on mental health. Depression and isolation often follow physical decline, not the other way around. By preserving physical ability through daily movement, Japanese elders protect their emotional well-being as well. The ability to walk to the store, visit friends, care for one's home, or participate in community life reinforces the desire to stay active, creating a reinforcing loop of health and engagement. Consistency does not require perfection. Missing a day does not undo progress, but returning to movement as a daily habit keeps the long-term trajectory positive. Japanese elders understand this intuitively. There is no all-or-nothing mentality. Movement adapts to the day, the weather, the mood, and the body's condition. Some days are slower, others more energetic, but movement never disappears entirely. This flexibility prevents burnout and injury while keeping the habit alive across decades. The beauty of this approach is that it remains accessible at any age. Even someone who has been sedentary for years can begin reclaiming strength and stability through gentle daily movements. The body responds quickly to consistent signals of use. Muscles regain tone, joints regain comfort, balance improves, and confidence slowly returns. The nervous system, which governs coordination and reaction time, remains adaptable well into later life when it is regularly challenged in safe ways. There is no expiration date on the ability to improve. Modern culture often glorifies dramatic transformation, but the Japanese model of aging well is built on quiet continuity. There are no before and after photos, no heroic narratives, just the steady accumulation of small actions done daily. This makes it far more realistic and humane. It honors the natural rhythms of the body rather than fighting them. It accepts aging while refusing decline. It shows that strength does not need to be aggressive to be effective, and that gentleness, when practiced consistently, can be profoundly powerful. Ultimately, the lesson is simple but deeply important. The body ages best when it is moved daily, calmly, and with care. Strength after 60 is not something to chase desperately, it is something to maintain patiently. Balance is not something to fear losing, it is something to practice quietly. Independence is not preserved through avoidance, but through engagement with movement in its simplest forms. Japanese elders offer a living example that long life with mobility is not a mystery or a miracle, but the natural result of respecting the body's need to move every day in ways that feel sustainable, meaningful, and kind. After the age of 60, many people begin to believe that physical decline is inevitable, that weakness, stiffness, poor balance, and fatigue are simply the price of getting older. This belief is reinforced by messages everywhere, from advertisements to casual conversations, that suggest slowing down is natural and that the body can no longer adapt. Yet the truth is far more hopeful. The body does not fail because of age alone. It weakens when daily movement disappears. Muscles shrink when they are not used, joints stiffen when they stop moving, balance fades when it is never challenged, and confidence erodes when the brain no longer trusts the body to respond. What Japanese elders quietly demonstrate is that the aging process itself is not the main problem. The real issue is inactivity, and the solution is not extreme exercise, but simple, consistent daily movement that keeps the brain and body in conversation. Movement is not just about muscles. It is a full-body communication system. Every time you stand, walk, stretch, or shift your weight, your brain sends signals to your muscles, and your muscles send feedback back to your brain. This loop keeps coordination sharp, reactions quick, and posture stable. When movement becomes rare, the brain starts to downgrade these systems to conserve energy. Reflexes slow, balance becomes uncertain, and the body feels less reliable. This creates fear, and fear further limits movement. Over time, this cycle can make someone feel older than they truly are. Japanese elders interrupt this cycle by never letting movement fully disappear from daily life. Even on slow days, the body is reminded that it is still capable. One of the most powerful aspects of simple daily movement is how it retrains the nervous system. Balance, for example, is not just a function of leg strength. It relies on the inner ear, vision, joint awareness, and brain processing speed working together. When balance is not practiced, these systems lose coordination. Japanese elders maintain balance through ordinary activities like standing on one leg while dressing, walking on uneven ground, or shifting weight slowly and deliberately. These small challenges keep the nervous system adaptable. Over time, the brain becomes better at predicting and correcting instability, which dramatically reduces fall risk. This improvement does not require intense training. It requires repetition, patience, and safety. Strength follows a similar pattern. Many older adults assume they cannot regain strength because they are not lifting heavy weights. Yet the body responds to any resistance that challenges it slightly beyond its comfort zone. Standing up from a chair, climbing stairs, carrying light loads, or even holding posture against gravity provides enough stimulus to maintain and rebuild functional strength. Japanese elders naturally perform these actions daily, often without labeling them as exercise. The muscles of the legs, hips, and core remain active, preserving the ability to move independently. Strength gained this way is deeply practical. It supports real-life tasks rather than isolated movements, making it more useful and easier to maintain. Mobility is another area where daily movement quietly protects long-term function. Joints are living structures that depend on movement to stay healthy. When joints are not taken through their comfortable range of motion, connective tissues stiffen and movement becomes painful. Pain then discourages movement, creating a downward spiral. Japanese elders break this cycle by moving their joints gently every day. Small rotations of the shoulders, hips, neck, and spine keep tissues elastic and well-nourished. This does not require stretching to the limit or enduring discomfort. In fact, comfort is the guide. By staying within a pain-free range, the body learns that movement is safe, and mobility gradually improves. Walking deserves special attention because it is one of the most powerful and accessible forms of movement for older adults. Japanese elders walk frequently, but they do so with awareness rather than urgency. Posture is upright, steps are controlled, and breathing is steady. This kind of walking strengthens the heart, improves circulation, maintains joint health, and reinforces balance. It also has profound mental benefits. Walking calms the mind, reduces stress, and improves mood. When walking becomes a daily habit, the body remains conditioned for movement, and confidence in one's ability to navigate the world remains intact. Breathing, though often ignored, plays a central role in how movement feels and how the body recovers. Shallow, rushed breathing keeps the nervous system in a state of alertness, which increases muscle tension and fatigue. Deep, relaxed breathing tells the body it is safe, allowing muscles to release and circulation to improve. Japanese elders often combine gentle movement with calm breathing, whether stretching in the morning or resting quietly during the day. This combination supports cardiovascular health, lowers blood pressure, and improves sleep. Over time, the body becomes more resilient to stress, which protects both physical and mental health. The fear is one of the greatest obstacles to movement after 60. Fear of falling, fear of pain, fear of injury, and fear of embarrassment can all discourage activity. Japanese elders tend to move without drama or self-judgment. Movement is not a performance. It is simply part of being alive. This attitude removes pressure and makes it easier to keep moving even when the body feels stiff or tired. When movement is approached with kindness rather than force, fear gradually fades. Confidence grows not from pushing limits, but from proving to oneself, day after day, that the body can still respond. Another important factor is the role of routine. Daily movement becomes automatic when it is woven into ordinary life. Japanese elders do not rely on motivation, which fluctuates. They rely on habit. Habits require less mental energy and are more resilient to changes in mood or circumstances. Standing up regularly, walking short distances, stretching upon waking, and practicing balance while dressing all become natural parts of the day. Over time, these habits protect the body without requiring conscious effort. This is especially important as energy levels change with age. The social and emotional benefits of staying mobile cannot be overstated. When people can move independently, they remain engaged with their communities. They visit friends, participate in activities, and maintain a sense of usefulness. This social engagement protects cognitive health and reduces the risk of depression. Physical decline often leads to isolation, which accelerates mental and emotional decline. By maintaining movement through simple daily habits, Japanese elders preserve not just their bodies, but their connection to life itself. Recovery is another area where gentle daily movement proves its value. Intense exercise can require long recovery periods, which may discourage consistency. Gentle movement, on the other hand, promotes circulation and healing without overwhelming the body. It reduces stiffness, supports joint health, and keeps energy levels stable. This makes it possible to move every day, which is the true key to long-term adaptation. The body thrives on regular input, not occasional extremes. It is important to recognize that improvement does not need to be dramatic to be meaningful. Small gains in strength, balance, and mobility can have enormous effects on quality of life. Being able to stand up more easily, walk with less fear, or reach overhead without pain restores confidence and independence. These changes often happen gradually, almost unnoticed, until one day daily tasks feel easier again. This quiet progress is exactly how the body prefers to adapt. The idea that it is never too late to improve is supported by both observation and biology. Muscles respond to use at any age. The nervous system retains the ability to learn and adapt. Bones respond positively to weight-bearing movement. Circulation improves with activity. While the rate of change may be slower than in youth, the capacity for improvement remains. Japanese elders exemplify this truth by continuing to move gently and consistently well into advanced age, maintaining function far beyond what many consider normal. The greatest lesson in all of this is that daily movement is not about fighting aging. It is about cooperating with the body. Aging is a natural process, but decline is not a fixed outcome. By keeping the brain and body engaged through simple movements, the systems that support stability, strength, and confidence remain active. This cooperation allows people to age with grace rather than fear, with capability rather than dependence. When movement becomes a daily conversation between the brain and body, the body stays responsive. Reaction times remain sharper. Muscles stay awake. Joints stay nourished. Breathing stays calm. The nervous system stays adaptable. All of this adds up to a body that feels trustworthy, which is perhaps the most important factor of all. Trust in one's body encourages movement, and movement reinforces that trust, creating a positive cycle that can continue for many years. In the end, the message is simple yet powerful. The body does not stop responding because of age. It stops responding when it is no longer asked to. Simple habits like standing with control, walking with awareness, stretching gently, practicing balance, and breathing deeply keep the body and brain connected. These habits do not demand youth, strength, or perfection. They only ask for consistency and care, and in return they offer stability, confidence, and the freedom to keep moving through life with dignity and ease.